Well, welcome back, everybody. It's this will be the second day of the new year, and this morning I don't have the mag on yet. I'm going to do a separate video of time in a John Deere. I'll do that here in a little while. It won't be on this video. Well, I may actually have it in two forms. Anyway, right now I'm doing the most anxious job there is. I'm filling it full of water. I've got about a gallon in it, and I've got nothing on the floor yet. I know it's all new faces. You know, we machined the block, we machined the head. This is machined, this one is machined, not the block here, but it does have high tack on it. Yeah, there shouldn't be any problem with it leaking anywhere, but it's still an anxious moment, you know. For some reason, when you put water in them, it always is. But I'm going to continue filling, and we'll take a look at it here in a little bit. Okay, we got it full of water. Oil's still the same level. I did have a leak here. I forgot about taking that temperature sending unit base out and putting a plug in it. It was just an oversight. So I did get a little bit of moisture down there, but I've cleaned it up. But we are full, and we have no leaks anywhere. Oh, I got a leak there. Spoke too soon. Yeah, a little bitty one right there. We'll tighten that hose clamp up. That's the only one I've found so far. Yeah, that one's dry. That one's dry, a little bit of grease, but yeah. So far everything's dry except for that. Got a little bit of water right there. So I can tighten that one up. Well, I just took about a turn on that. It's about as tight as I can get it. I'm not real concerned. It might still be leaking a little bit. When this gets hot, that's a brand new piece of hose. When it gets hot, it'll kind of set. Yeah, it's probably going to have to just be warmed up so that the rubber can kind of conform to stuff. If it don't do it, I can always put two clamps on there because there is room enough. The edge is about right here. I can slide that back, put another clamp on it. But anyway, I'm not so sure about this rubber. I think I'm going to get another one of these fan shafts. I can see this moving on this tube a little bit. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to run it. But before we put it in the field, we will find another fan shaft. I might have to go down, see Ryan. I don't know. I've got a fan and some hubs, but the hubs aren't that good. They wore quite a bit. But I got a whole setup here. But I got a good fan. Probably buy them new tins, but I'll take that stuff off the wall and maybe use it. But I got to find out if you have to change out that tube. I just did it on my other one. I can't remember if you have to change the tube or not. Anyway, we'll figure that bridge out when it comes time to cross it. I'm going to put this cover on here. I'm not going to put any juice on that. That's just going to set there like that. That's the old gasket. It may weep a little bit because it's so brittle. It is, well, 1949. It's got a right to be brittle. But anyway, we're just going to set stuff on it, and we'll get stuff a little closer to starting it here. I'm going to start it with a remote tank. I just think it's the best way to do it because I got so much crap on that end tank I want to fix before I put it on. Okay, we've got a temporary fuel system hooked up, and it's pretty janky, but it does hold fuel. It is weeping a little bit down the fuel line because, well, just the way it's set up. Got a few leaks here, nothing major. We're going to try to start it. And yeah, first start. We'll see what happens. She is in neutral. Okay. We'll choke up, see what happens. Oh yeah, there's fuel in there. Good. Oh, it's got a fire. Well. Huh. Well, I'd say it's gonna go. Guess we're not enough. Yeah, we still got fuel in a container. I gotta go redo my Band-Aid. Okay, we're ready to try again. We've still got fuel over. Of course, them old plugs. Huh, ain't that weird? I would think that would. Yeah, we got plenty of gas in it still. See what's going on. Oh, I got a 7/8 socket here somewhere. There's that. I need the ratchet. Take a look here. Probably should have put new plugs in it. Yeah, they actually look dry. But you know something, I'm gonna grab 2 new plugs. I think I've got some of these. 386. I may not have the exact one, but I bet I got a close one. So they're not new plugs, but they're a different set. We'll see what happens. Get a little bit of choke. we're gonna let it warm up just off that tank. Now we'll shut it down, retorque the head. We're just going to let this little tank here run out of fuel, and we've had about close to a half hour's running on it. So whatever it is, we'll retorque the head. So she's running good. Sounds like the rockers are a little looser than they ought to be, but we'll do a more careful adjustment here once we get it all broke in. Well, it's quitting time. We did take this rocker off, retorqued the head. So I went back into the manual. You read stuff all over the internet, and it's hard to make heads or tails out of actual head torques. If I look into my bearing books, they're telling around 100 pounds. But the John Deere book itself, this is a 1940-ish made John Deere service manual that the dealer would have had, says that for this John Deere B, the head bolts torque to 1,150 inch-pounds, which is 95 point something foot-pounds. So I torqued them to 95 foot-pounds. After they've been heated up, I got about a quarter of a turn on all of them. Adjusted the valves just a skosh. They were, well, actually only one of them was a little tight. The rest of them, the feeler gauge went up in. I got to take this off. I'll do that probably tomorrow. I got to get into this fan. That fan is all soft, that rubber. It's like gummy. I don't dare to run it because I know my friends have had them come off, and matter of fact, Ryan, my friend down in Connecticut, he's got one that he backed into his shop and shut it off, and it was just starting to shine the core. It hadn't sprung a leak or stove it up bad yet, but it was just starting to hit. And that was an old, unstyled. So I'm going to change that out, and let's see, I did cut this manifold, got that welded on. So basically the engine itself, other than the fan shaft, is done. And then I got to deal with getting the sour gas out of the starting tank. It is right full of the nastiest stuff ever. You can see where it's leaked down there. I'm not going to stick my fingers in it because I'll stink all the rest of the night. But it's all over the outside, because when I had this stood up on the end, it was leaking out around that cap and it made a mess. So I had to drill 2 of the screws out. I was able to save 2 with some heat, a little bit of love. But this is my main holdup, I guess, other than the fan shaft. Once we get that taken care of, we'll get back into it. But there probably won't be any videos for a day or two, unless I find something interesting on that fan shaft when I'm doing that. So for right now, there's going to be a little bit of a pause on this. And yeah, hope everybody's doing well and keeping safe. And we'll see you on the next one.